Hey, what's up? It's Lerald, and GGG dropped patch 0.3.1 about a week ago, maybe a little over that now, and Reddit was convinced that the patch completely ruined the ability to farm currency at endgame. Anyways, Reddit was wrong, water is wet, huge shock. So we spent a lot of time testing different configurations of tablets and map rolling setups, and we've got some recommendations for you here. I've been pulling in way more high value currency with this setup than I did before patch 0.3.1 or really at any point in playing PoE 2 at all. And that is what this video is about, how to make currency in PoE 2 patch 0.3.1. You can do some or all of the tips we lay out in this video. Some of this stuff can be expensive, so, juice at your discretion, I suppose. I'm not guaranteeing anything either because arpg can be cruel, but I will say this is what I've been doing, and again, money, 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 yum, yum, yum. We did a brief stream a few days ago, and I think I earned something like 45 or 50 divines between raw currency drops and then like some jackpot drops in only like 15 or 16 maps. About half of that was jackpot drops. Like I said, I got a Calandra's Touch, and I got, I don't remember what it's called, Ferul's Rune of the Chase or something, Moose Speed Boot Rune. Like, obviously that's great, but then that means the other half of it wasn't jackpot drops. It was just like perfect Exalted Orb, perfect Chaos divines, right? And that's obviously huge, 25 divines and 15 maps worth of like actual leafy greeny spendy money is really good. I found that things have been going even better since then. I ran one map before writing up my intro here, and I got like 2 raw divines right at the start. And I said, okay, I'll do a couple more maps then. Got an Omen of Light from a random rare. Again, money, money, money. So let's get into it, but first be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join our Discord as well, lots of discussions going on there. We're talking PoE 2, WoW Legion Remix and Midnight, and getting psyched up for the next PoE 1 release. Alright, so let's start with the absolute basics of how you make currency in PoE 2. Killing rare monsters. That really is it. If you kill more rare monsters, you will get more stuff. There's a lot of other things you can do to make the rare monsters be more profitable, but at the end of the day, it's all about getting as many rare monsters into your maps as possible. And that really means running Breach and running Delirium. Those are the 2 mechanics that put more rare monsters in than anything else. So the way you get Breach in is really simple. You use a Breach tablet in every map. Ta-da! You could do Delirium tablets. I like Delirium mirrors a lot. I think they are more fun than Delirium anointing maps, but the reality is Delirium anointing maps is stronger. And the way you do this is really simple. I'll just show it off right here. I'll jump ahead in my notes here. You take some Liquid Paranoia. You take a map, ta-da, it's instilled, it's ready to be rolled up the rest of the way. Now, should you bother with Expedition or Ritual, I like to do them when I run across them in my maps. I have a lot of maps that have already pre-juiced from prior to patch 0.3.1, which is nice if you got it, and I do like to stop and do any of the Expedition or Ritual I find in those areas. Outside of those areas, if you just rumble up on a random Expedition or Ritual that's not juiced up, maybe it would make sense to like skip past. I never do, but it probably isn't a bad idea. You can also get Rarity on your gear, of course, and supposedly the soft diminishing return cap is around like 150%. I'm nowhere close to that. I think I'm at like 87% on my gear, and then I'm also using a golden charm as of just like a couple of days ago. If you can get a golden charm with this modifier on it, reduced charges per use, that is great because it consumes a crazy amount of charges. There's been a lot of discussion, again, on Reddit, a bunch of blind people arguing what this looks like. It seems like it works on the monster that you kill it on. You have it equipped, you kill a rare monster or unique, it triggers, it gives you some rarity. It seems like it works for the drops of the rare monsters that you kill, but, can't 100% confirm, can't absolutely, life on the line guarantee that it's working correctly, but feels like it is. So now let's talk a little bit about tablets. So because tablets were reworked in patch 0.3.1, you're able to run up to 3 of them per map, and they are based on the amount of map mods that you have, the number of tablets that you can put in. In order to, as you can see, in order to unlock more than one mod, you have to have 3 mods on the map, or more than one tablet, rather. You have to have 3 mods for 2 tablets, and all 6 mods for 3 tablets, which, is a little bit annoying for, weaker characters, basically, that you're kind of limited to 2 tablets unless you're just willing to risk the possibility of dying and losing your map. Don't really love that, but I do think that this is still, like, you know, it's fine. Ultimately, like, I'm okay with always wanting to run fully modded out maps, and that's kind of what we're doing here. Like, we're really focusing on, like, making as much currency as possible. This ain't baby stuff. We're really going for it. So, 6 mods on all your maps at minimum, 3 tablets in every map, of course. And so obviously you're running a Breach tablet. For the other 2, I really like to run Overseer and Precursor tablets, and the reason for this is Overseer tablet, I like the empowered map bosses. I think they're worth doing. I think they're very rewarding. They are insanely tanky. They are way tankier than any of the pinnacle bosses in the game right now, especially with Delirium affecting them, which is strange that it's like that, but it is. But with that being said, for some reason, unless this icon is actually on the map node, the Precursor tablet will not actually give +1 level to the zone. So if you've already pre-rolled an area like I did with this one, then the Precursor tablet and the Overseer tablet aren't actually going to, like, you know, they're not going to +2 the map. But that's fine, you know, they're still giving, like, Rarity and rare monsters, and the Overseer tablets have the bonus of giving, like, more quant or rarity or whatever off of the map boss out of the suffix. I mean, that's a potential option. But this bonus right here, Organized Forces, which I think I probably should drop and just take Directed Worship. It's bugged. It just does not work if you're empowering that boss with a tablet. So you kind of just always want to do Irradiate and empower the boss, and then a Breach. I suppose you could run triple Breach. I'm not doing that, but I suppose you could. But I am literally just going to drop that set of points there because I don't really love Beyond Reality anyway. I think getting, like, Fit for a King and Spoils of War and now Crystal Realm and Directed Worship, why not? Now, in terms of the mods that you're looking for on your tablets, prefixes are the kind of main attraction here for most of these. This is a really good, valuable suffix that you can get on a Breach tablet. Rarity or Rare Monsters are kind of the 2 prefixes that you really want, because Rarity increases the quality of currency that's dropped by monsters, and then Rare Monsters obviously drop everything. And then, of course, that suffix there, like I said, the chance to contain 3 additional breaches is actually a pretty good suffix. But as you can see here, the roll range on quantity went from 3 to 7 up to 4 to 10. Not a huge buff, whereas Rarity went from whatever it was, 7 to 15 up to 10 to 30. That's a pretty nice buff, or maybe it's 7 to 12. Who cares? And then Rare Monsters went all the way up to a roll range of 15 to 40%, which means a highly rolled Rare Monster tablet can give you 35 to 40% Rare Monsters. So generally speaking, the approach that I'm taking is to run 2 Rarity tabs that are 25% or better, so we're getting about 50% Rarity from the tablet, and then 1 Rare Monster tablet. And then I'm generally not running quantity at all, unless it is like a 9 or 10% roll. Then maybe I'll swap that in for one of the Rarity rolls, but generally speaking, I found that I have actually gotten worse rewards from doing that. Alright, now I'll just briefly mention 2 unique tablets that are, like, noteworthy. The first is the Grand Project. You can use it on a tower map, and it'll let you hit any map in the radius. And there's one really fun interaction with it, which unfortunately I didn't take advantage of in this tower here. But if you have any of these maps like Eye of the Storm or Mansion in the Mists or whatever, that require you to do adjacent maps and complete them, and then click a thing at the end multiple times in order to unlock actually going into that special map. If you use a Grand Project in the radius of them, it will just immediately convert the map into what it'll finally be. You know, this is Jade Isle. It'll immediately unlock it. You don't have to do any adjacent maps. You can just jump right in and do it. Additionally, Visions of Paradise makes it so that if you're doing a map that's not already irradiated once before, completing the map will remove the irradiation instead of just closing the map. So if you fail the map, then it's still bricks, but if you complete the map, you're able to run it one more time. This is obviously really good for being able to run Jade Isles multiple times, because that's the only place that Rakiata's Flow can drop. 22 Divines, if you're able to run that run that map multiple times to get potentially 2 Rakiata's Flows out of it, you could be looking at like 40-something Divines. You know, that's pretty good considering that Visions of Paradise has gone down in price, I think, since the patch. It's not nearly as expensive as it was. I think even if you just look at the price of like some of the Calamity Fragments, yeah, I think it's probably worth it to use on Jade Isles, and then maybe questionable on any of the Citadels, but you know, something to consider if you have them laying around. All right, so that's tablets and like some of the unique maps kind of talked about. Now I want to talk about how to actually roll maps. And so the first tip I'll give here is just simply that you want to roll a bunch of maps at once. Whenever you are doing maps, like I rolled up all of these. I actually rolled like quite a lot more and corrupted them all at the end and had a lot of them brick. But you want to roll a bunch of maps at once rather than doing them one at a time. It'll save you a lot of time. It's very annoying to roll like one at a time. And also, I think by rolling a bunch of them at a time, at least for me, like minimize the risk of botching anything, forgetting any steps, anything like that. So we're going to be using 2 omens in the course of rolling this map up, and I'll just kind of show you how I do it to save some time. I start by just alching every map, and then I exalt them up to 6 mods. I'm not looking to see anything at all. So I want a Waystone prefix. I want a desecrated Waystone prefix on all of the maps. And the way that I'm going to guarantee that is just to use Sinistral Necromancy Omens. These cost like 20 exalts. I think that's worth it. The desecrated prefixes are way better than desecrated suffixes and easier. So all of that's worth looking into. But also you want to make sure that you have rarity mods or all of the mods on the map. So I like to just roll it up to 6 mods first and then hit it with use a chaotic rarity omen and then hit it with a chaos orb. You can do, I can't remember the name of them, but you could do chaotic monsters for like more rare and magic monsters, but it is strictly worse for most mapping situations. I think the only time where having more rare and magic monsters and no rarity at all out of the mods would be worth doing is if you're in cleansed areas and you're specifically doing a pack size setup that I'll kind of talk about later on. I think this is actually pretty niche, even though chaotic monsters is fairly valuable. Chaotic rarity is just a much more valuable omen for most purposes. Okay, so we use that chaotic rarity. We now have 107% item rarity. I already hit it with delirium oil or whatever it is. It's a delirium emotions to give it that 45% rare monsters and 36% delirious. So that's taken care of. Now we're going to hit it with, we have our Sinistral Necromancy active. We're going to hit it with a Preserved Vertebra. And now we have a desecrated prefix. So we can go unveil that. And we're kind of hoping for a couple of things. And so this is another reason why you want to roll like a billion maps at once. Usually you'll have the animation of throwing maps into the pit. Thankfully I didn't this time, but usually you will, and you don't want to have to deal with that over and over again. So Abyss Pits in the area always have rewards. This is something that was bugged previously. I think there might be a cap on it. Like, that's been some discussion that there might be like a limit on the number of reward chests that you could get out of Abysses, but it is a good mod and it'll give rarity. If I remember correctly, it gives rarity. Maybe it's rare monsters, but we'll see. We're at 45 and 97. Then I'll hit that, and we're going to get a big bump to one of those 2 numbers here in a second. Oh, it's rare monsters and magic monsters. Yeah, we went up 40% magic monsters, kind of whatever, and 30% rare monsters, which is obviously very good. All right, and so here I have pulled up PoE 2DB, and I'll just show how to navigate to the Waystone mod tab. This is just the landing page for PoE 2DB, Waystones, desecrated Waystone mods, and then we can kind of take a look at what the bonuses are for the prefixes. And these are the ones that I like to go for. Abysses have additional pits, gives you rarity. That's a good modifier. Additional pits means a lot more monsters too. That's good. Abysses have additional pits and is overrun by the Abyssal. This effectively simulates that green icon that you can get on the like atlas, on a map. This is great, but it's so good that it's really only useful for group play, and you just want to sell these. You can usually sell them if you've rolled them up the way that we have already. You can sell them for like a divine generally, pretty quickly actually. And if you don't roll them up, you just have a random map with just random mods. Maybe it's got rarity, maybe it doesn't. They're going to sell for way less. So I do think it's worth it to do all of these steps because in the course of like prepping maps just to make this video, I made 5 divines just off of this. More than cover the cost of rolling up like 40 or 50 maps. There are a couple of others, lead to an abyssal boss, gives rarity. That's not bad. I like the Incubator Queen, even though it's pack size. It's really not that great. Abyssal Depths also is good, gives a rarity. That's a good one. Abyssal Depths or Abyssal Pits always have rewards, gives rare packs. Magic packs too, whatever, but like rare packs is good. And then this last one I like a lot. Natural rare monsters in the area have 1 extra abyssal modifier. Map number of rare packs is also increased. So those are the mods I like to look out for. The stuff that gives pack size, gives XP, whatever, that can be useful if you're trying to level up quickly. But if you're trying to get currency, it's not. Then the last step for your map rolling is optional. You can corrupt them. There's a chance that you can get more modifiers. There's a chance that all the mods can convert to prefixes. There's also the chance that the map can go down in level or convert all the mods to suffixes, both of which are like bricks, essentially. You know, it could go up to tier 16, so that's definitely good if it does. More rewards, more chance of like level 20 skill gems and spirit gems. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with a corrupt, just hoping for the best. But you know, decent chance that it's good, decent chance that it's bad. Probably the best chance is just that nothing happens. Okay, see that brick? That turned into all suffixes, which is annoying. I still roll them all and corrupt them all, but I understand why people wouldn't, because that is an annoying situation to have happen. All right, now let's talk about corruption and cleansed zones, purification. And so there are these corrupted areas. This is tutorialized fairly well early on in the end game. You can kind of see them in the mist. They'll have this like ugly, nasty red, kind of upward drippy goo coming out of them. Even through the fog, you're able to see them pretty easily. The goo really extends way up into the air. You clear the map in the middle of the area. Now all the rest of the maps in the area will be cleansed. They'll convert into this like white crystalline area, and they'll get a lot of interesting prefixes, things like more effective prefix modifiers and less effective suffixes, which is really good with the way that we roll our maps. Increased rarity, sometimes reduced quantity and increased rarity, which isn't amazing, but like increased rarity is good. Some of the mods will be dumb, you know, like increased gold or whatever, but like really hunting down all, like here's one, increased gold, but really hunting down all of these areas is important because these also add a bunch of packs of cleansed monsters. That's the real like selling point here. And the cleansed monsters are only capable of dropping currency, and they are capable of dropping fracturing orbs, which are worth quite a lot. Last I checked, they were like a third or so of a divine orb, and they drop fairly frequently, so they're really, really quite rewarding. You can also find the Immured Fury sometimes as an implicit. He's fairly uncommon, but he is a sort of boss. He says stuff like he's going to be a boss, he sounds like a boss, and then he dies in one hit, but he's guaranteed to drop a Fracturing Orb. So, love that guy. He's been very, very rewarding to me in the past. Alright, so I did mention double juiced maps. That's what the community's taken to calling them, and basically what those are just areas that you had rolled up and applied tablets to prior to patch 0.3.1. They didn't get cleansed, so if I could just pull up, like, here's an area here where I have a laundry list of modifiers affecting it. 19% quantity, 7% rarity. That's really not that amazing, but, you know, I have some other areas around here that I'm sure that have, like, more quantity on them. Here's one, 30% quantity and 9% rarity. Any areas that you have that are like this, that have a bunch of previously applied bonuses on them, are gonna be really good. You should do like all of those until you have burned through every single one of them that you have before moving on to other stuff, unless you are specifically trying to hunt down citadels. I think that really is the approach. Just blast the existing maps that you have because they're gonna be juiced up already. All right, now I have two Atlas passive trees that I'm going to show off here, and the first is the map juicing tree. So we're just taking all of the map mod effect that we possibly can in here. We're taking the rarity, we're taking the quantity, we are taking the rare monster nodes here, of course, and then that's, you know, pretty much it. It's pretty basic. You could take local knowledge. I absolutely think it is worth it to take this for any time that you're in a swamp or water biome. Take this, you'll get increased basic currency. Anytime you're not in a swamp or water biome, drop it. You're going to get reduced basic currency. Basically, the way that this works is it gives you 40% increased chance to drop of the thing that's listed, and then it reduces the other 4 by 10%. So you will get reduced basic currency outside of swamp and water biomes and increased basic currency, which is just currency, when you are in those biomes. So very annoying to swap this in and out, but just do it. You'll get more stuff. This is pretty much the standard setup. Other than that, I think left side Delirium tree is good. This is a standard ritual setup. I like the lower branch for Expedition. You're obviously taking this one. Like I said, I've actually swapped around the bossing path to just not even bother with Organized Forces or Beyond Reality. I don't really love either of those, so we're doing this. And then I'm doing the like middle and ring finger on the breach here, and the reason for this is I am playing with a headhunter. Rising Pyre is great, so you obviously want to take that ring finger always. Crumbling Walls is good, so you want to take that. Then your last 2 points, you kind of have some options. I've been playing around with Zesh Madness not because of the Catalyst dropping as a full stack, although I have had that happen and give me, like, decent reward out of it. Don't really care about that. Getting the Soul Eater modifier to be guaranteed on all the Breach monsters is more juice off of the Breach monsters. It's also the ability to headhunt and steal that Soul Eater, which feels awesome. So I'm a big fan of this. I wouldn't really recommend it if you're not headhunting, though. I think you could just take Interdimensional Assault if you want your Breaches to have more monsters in them and, like, be faster, so take less time, or Grasping Hands is also a fine option as well. And then the second tree I would recommend here is if you're not juicing all the way, you're not going all the way, you're not, like, using omens to juice your maps or roll your maps. Maybe you're doing maps that you're, like, zipping between areas trying to hunt down citadels. That's a great strategy, but I wouldn't put all my eggs into the Waystone map mod, like, effect basket. I would just simply switch over to this strategy that gives you, like, as much magic pack size, as much pack size in general as you could get. Still swap local knowledge in and out, even though it's annoying. Probably just take Legendary Battles branch of the Expedition tree since it's easier. Grasping Hands since it's easier and gives you a bunch more magic monsters, which is cool. I probably would go with the standard Beyond Reality setup to give myself more, like, corruption from map bosses, just more random little monsters to kill along the way, and then standard setup for Deli and Ritual. There it is. Those are the fundamentals on how to make currency in PoE 2 after patch 0.3.1. It's still October, so it's still spooky movie recommendation time, and this time we're recommending Poltergeist. It's a spooky movie and a classic. Love the ending. Alright, that's it. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and join the Skipping Sleep Studio Discord and become part of our community. And finally, thank you to all of our channel members. If you want to support us so we can keep making more PoE content, become a channel member, or come boost the Discord. Thanks for watching. Bye.